Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. So glad so many of you are here in this room with us, joining us today for the United States holiday of July 4, our Independence Day. And I'm super glad that we get a chance to sing today with Rick Palieri, who is bringing us a lot of really great, thoughtful songs for a holiday like today. And I want to shout out hellos to everybody. First of all, I'm Jo Rossi. I am the director of the Daily Antidote Song, which is brought to us by Carpe Diem Arts, and we are super glad that they keep helping us to go on day after day after day. And I would love to welcome everybody who's out there on the live stream. Hello to all the folks on Facebook, and hello to all the folks on YouTube. We're glad you're all here with us today. Thanks for joining. And hello, of course, to everybody in this room. Let's all wave hello to Rick Palieri coming in from Vermont. Thank you, Rick, for being with us today. We're excited to sing with you. Thanks to Erin, who's in Virginia visiting mom and running our tech for us today. Thank you so much, Erin. I see Pauline and William over there in Newcastle, UK. Hello, Pauline. Hello, William. Glad you guys are here today. Hello to Kathy in Colorado. Hi to Trish and Victoria, Arlene in Berkeley, California, Susan in Cincinnati, Linda on Orcas Island. Hi to Athena in Brooklyn. Hello to Carolyn, maybe new to us today. Nice to have you with us today, or maybe day two. Phil in Totnes, UK. Glad to have you with us today. Hi to Dan in Vienna, Virginia. Aloysius in Massachusetts. Hello to Rosie. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a really long time. Glad you're here today. Nice to have you coming in from Michigan. Sheila in Florida, Ann in Silver Spring, Caroline in DC, Carolyn in Boise, Idaho, reminding me, thank you for the cue card. Today is day 1,551 days of consecutive singing here in this program, and I'm so glad we're managing to do this. It's also a birthday of one of our regular participants, Amanda, coming in from Michigan. Happy birthday, Amanda, and we'll do a little more after we close today. Sue in Seattle, thank you for being with us today. Amanda, and I think that's Miles over there I can't see. Glad you guys are here. Yep, nice to see both of you, and happy birthday. Bob in Albany, nice to see you. Kathleen in Albuquerque, Storm in Massachusetts. Ruth and Clive coming in from Birmingham, UK. Glad to have you with us today. Deborah in Kentucky, Becky in Vancouver, Deli in Maryland, Julie in Ontario. Let's see, we've got Nancy in Washington State, Lynn in Connecticut, Lynn and Cliff in Vermont, Kat in Vermont, Moon in Alexandria, Sarah, I think that's Connecticut, Bob and the Bear in Massachusetts, Kevin in DC, Kay in Texas, Carol in Connecticut, Elizabeth in California. Hello to someone called iPhone. We're glad you're here today. I feel like I recognize you, but I don't remember your name. Martha in Oregon, Jamie in Victoria, and Hoda in British Columbia. Another deep breath, everybody. And we have someone over there connecting still to audio. We're glad you've joined us, and we hope you managed to hear us today. We'd love to have you here in our musical universe. So it is a beautiful day to be singing with Rick Palieri. I know he's brought some great stuff. So Rick, you want to get right into it?
Sure, Joe. It's such a pleasure to be here. I don't get on as often as I like because this show has become so popular that there's so many great musicians that are participating in this beautiful community. And I'm just honored every once in a while to make an appearance and to sing together with you. And when you asked me to have a day, I thought about this day of July the 4th, because I felt like it was an important time to say something, because as a lot of people know, it's not our usual kind of fireworks day of independence. A lot of us are feeling a little bit mindful about what things are going on. And I have a song that every time that I would visit with Pete Seeger, he would play this song. I don't know, why he would always play this song, but it was the song that every time that we got together, he would play it. Because I was surprised that it was written in 1969. I had no idea it was that old. But it's an old song, but it just sounds brand new, like a lot of songs do. Do you want to try it?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, so it's quite early morning. Don't you know it's darkest for the dawn? This thought keeps me moving on. If we could heed these early warnings, the time is now quite early morning. We could heed those early warnings. The time is now quite early morning. Some folks say that mankind won't long endure, but what makes them feel so doggone sure? I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. So we keep on while we live until we have no more to give. And when these fingers can strum no longer, and the old banjo to young ones stronger, and when these fingers can strum no longer, and the old banjo to young ones stronger. So though it's darkest for the dawn, these thoughts keep us moving on through all this world of joy and sorrow. We still can have singing tomorrow through this world of joy and sorrow. We still can have singing tomorrow.
Wow, thank you so much, Rick Palieri. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful lyrics.
Joe, at the same time that Pete wrote that back in 1969, he also wrote this poem. It's not a song, but it's a poem. And I felt if Pete were here today, this would be on his mind. I mean, that's the thing we're talking about, Joe. We're talking about mentors and the people who stood up for things, people who believed in things. You know, I'm wearing my old mentor Utah Phillips hat that was given to me, and thinking about all those people and what they might be feeling now. And I got this strong feeling that if Pete were here on Independence Day, he might want to share this. So I'm gonna read it, okay?
Great.
It's called The Torn Flag. At midnight, in a flaming, angry town, I saw my country's flag torn upon the ground. I ran in and dodged among the crowd and scooped it up, scampered out to safety. And then I took the striped old piece of cloth and I tried my best to wash the garbage off. But I found that it had been used for wrapping lies. It smelled and stank and attracted all the flies. While I was feverishly at my task, I heard a husky voice that seemed to ask, "Do you think that you can change me just a bit?" Betsy Ross did her best, but she made a few mistakes. My blue is good, the color of the sky. The stars are good for ideals oh so high. 7 stripes of red are strong to meet all danger. But those white stripes, they could use a little changing. I need also some stripes of deep, rich brown, and some of tan and black. And then all around, a border of God's gracious green would look so good there. And maybe you could slant the stripes so I wouldn't look so square. I woke and I said, what a ridiculous story. Don't let anyone say I suggested tampering with old glory. But tonight, it's near midnight in some other flaming town. And once again, I hear my country's flag is torn upon the ground.
Thank you, Rick.
I felt that was important right now on this day, the day of independence, where usually everyone would be out celebrating, that we take a moment and take stock of what just happened in our country and what that might mean to all of us in the future. I was telling Jo she had visited Vermont, and she can testify that it's a pretty friendly state, and they say it's one of the bluest states in the USA right now. And yet there's a lot of people who are not sure what they're going to do. And I feel that it's important. It's really, really important this time that we make sure that we, as Pete would say, participate, that we go out and we vote and we make sure that things turn out in a way that's good for America, that I believe is good for America. And Jo, I have another song too that I felt that I wanted to share with you, if that's okay. Do you have any questions first?
So, no, I mean, I just have a lot of gratitude because you're picking a lot of stuff that's touching, I think, exactly on what's on everybody's mind right now. It's been challenging times, for different reasons. And the news is, challenging in different directions right now. And also, we recognize that there's a lot going on in our country, and a lot of very differing opinions, but also just a lot of angst. And so thanks for reflecting on it and for bringing us something to think about. And I think we'd all love to sing a second song with you.
Now, this song is a song that I wrote a while back, and I wrote it because Mariana, my wife's mother, Crystal Holzer, was a peace activist all of her life. When I first met her, even before I met Mariana, we were out doing a march for freedom and justice, and I knew that this was a woman of strength, and it was a big surprise to me because I didn't know that was going to be my mother-in-law. She was definitely a woman of strength and of peace, and she lived until her mid-90s. And we went out and stood on many a picket line together. Ironically, she passed away on the day of Hiroshima, something that she was very passionate about, ending all nuclear weapons. So, I was reminding myself of Crystal, and she's the one that wanted me to write this song. It was a long time ago, and she said, Rick, we need a good song to get people singing at a rally. We don't want one of these, she said, namby-pamby peace songs. We want a song that's going to get everybody singing. And she commissioned me and said, you better write this song. So I did, and I've changed it a lot over the years. When I originally wrote the song, I wrote, it's up to you to carry on. But it's really not up to you to carry on. It's up to us. It's up to all of us. It's not like waiting for somebody else to do it. It's really up to all of us to make things change. And has a fun chorus. I'll teach you the chorus. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice. and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. You got it? Let's try it together. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Now, if you're young or you're old, with years ahead or years to go, the power of love can lift your soul. It's up to us to carry on. Let me hear you now. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. One day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Now, if you're black or you're white, red, yellow, brown, we'll all unite. 'Cause we're all one skin when we're in this fight. It's up to us to carry on. Help me now. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Now, if you're a woman or a man, join together hand in hand. It's all a part of a bigger plan. It's up to us to carry on. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Diversity is welcome too. For who you are, it's up to you. There's plenty of work that's left to do. It's up to us to carry on. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Well, you know, I wrote a new verse this morning just for you. I was thinking about how I was feeling, and I felt like we needed a new verse for this song. The time is now. It's not too late. Cast your vote. Don't hesitate. Speak your mind. Participate. It's up to us to carry on. Let me hear you now. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. One more time. It's up to us to carry on. Lift your voice and sing along. Well, one day, Lord, we'll all be gone. It's up to us to carry on. Well, I think that's kind of the feeling that I have, folks, is that we can't just lay down and say, there's nothing, there's no hope. I mean, that was one of the things that Pete was always doing, was trying to give us hope, telling us stories, all kinds of stories about hope and not giving up. And I think at times like this, sometimes you feel like gee, it's too much, you know? It's too much. I feel like giving up. And I think that I feel that we have to kind of energize ourselves with a new spirit and realize that no. It's not too late. It's not too late. We have a chance to make a difference, but it's going to take work for all of us. We're going to have to go out and tell all those people, all your friends on cyberspace, that how important this is, not to sit this one out. You know, a lot of people talking, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to vote. This is not the time to not vote. This is not the time to make a political statement and vote for someone that you don't think is going to really make it, but you're trying to say something. Well, you can say something really important. You can say something by making sure that our country stays the way that we've lived our country. I've lived under communism. I was in Poland in 1984. I know what a dictator is. And I don't think a lot of people would like to live the way that that system was. You know, it was very, very, it was a real awakening for me to live there and have your letters searched and have your apartment searched and have everybody that you talked to questioned, and you couldn't say anything without fear of reprisal. That's the way it was. People would talk in hushed tones. That's what happens when a dictator takes over. People feel fear. And that's not what our country is. Our country is about freedom. It's about justice. It's about peace. That's the America I know.
Thank you, Rick Palieri. Everybody, please give it up for Rick Palieri. We're talking about important things in here today, not losing hope. Rick, Kathy Bullock used the word discouraged, and it's been popping out into my head a lot. Like, we can't get discouraged. We have to work harder than ever just to make sure that the best things happen for the most number of people, and that kindness and freedom prevail. And so thank you, Rick. Can we all please, a big, huge thank you to Rick for 2 great songs, a great poem, and some great thoughts. And Rick, we can't wait to sing in here with you again. It's always a blessing to be able to cross over with you.
You want to sing a little bit of Quite Early Morning again, or we don't have
please.
time?
We sure do.
Let's do that. And like when you listen to the words that Pete wrote about that, it's about that kind of thing. There's a lot into these words that he wrote. So let's, don't you know it's darkest before the dawn? This thought keeps me moving on. If we could heed these early warnings, the time is now, quite early morning. If we could heed these early warnings, the time is now, quite early morning. Some say that mankind won't long endure, but what makes them so doggone sure? I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. So we keep on while we live, until we have no more to give. And when these fingers can strum no longer, hand the old banjo to young ones stronger. And when these fingers can strum no longer, hand the old banjo to the young one stronger. So it's darkest for the dawn. These thoughts keep us moving on all through this world of joy and sorrow. There can still be singing till tomorrow, and through this world of joy and sorrow, we still can have singing tomorrow.
Rick Palieri, everybody.
Happy
said it
Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. Happy thoughtful Independence Day, everybody. And Rick, thank you for reminding everybody that we still can have singing tomorrow right here in this very space. You can always come here for your next dose, and much needed, and sometimes more needed than other days. And so we're really grateful, Rick, for all of the thoughtful reflection that you just brought to us, and thank you. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us today. Rick, it's always a treat to have you. And let's all give another big wave to Rick as a thank you. And goodbye to Rick in case he needs to leave. But Rick, if you're able to stay, you could be part of the first birthday picture before we close today. That would be great.
Sure.
For anybody out there on the live stream, we have a birthday in the room today. Happy birthday to Amanda. If anybody on the live stream wants to pop in here, if it is 12:30 Eastern time, your time right now, we're still here in this room live, and you could join us in here. Go to the Carpe Diem Arts website, Daily Antidote of Song, and click join us in the virtual room. And of course, we'd love to see you. Let's say goodbye to everybody in here and everybody on the live stream, and then we'll get back to birthday partying. So thanks again to Rick in Vermont. Lovely to have you. Appreciated everything you did today. Thanks to Aaron for running tech in Virginia, Pauline and Dad in Newcastle, UK, Kathy in Colorado, Trish in Victoria, Arlene in Berkeley, California, Susan in Cincinnati, Athena in Brooklyn. Thank you for the reminder that today is day 1,551 days of consecutive singing. Phil in Totnes, UK. Oh, and I do want to shout out, thank you for the reminder, Phil, just by being there, there's a lot going on in the UK election-wise right now, and we're all following it over here. I got distracted by 4th of July, but we're pins and needles and right there with you. And again, lots of love to all of you. And I know all of you voted, because I know you all voted. And Dan in Vienna, Virginia, thank you. Laris in the UK, Mabel and Bears in Massachusetts in their birthday regalia, Sheila in Florida, Caroline in DC, Carolyn in Boise, Idaho, Sue Miller in Seattle, Bob in Albany, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Lynn and Cliff in Vermont, hello and hello, or goodbye and goodbye. Diane in Puerto Rico, glad you made it with us today. Kat in Vermont, Hoda in British Columbia, Storm in Massachusetts, Rosalie coming in from Michigan, Kevin in DC, Martha in Oregon, Ruth and Clive in Birmingham, UK, Anne in Nashville, Jamie in Victoria, Deborah in Kentucky, Becky in Vancouver, Deli in Maryland, Julie in Ontario, Aloysius in Mass, Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland, Bob in Mass, Nancy in Washington State. I see the birthday girl herself over there in Michigan, Carolyn, Lynn in Connecticut, Moon in Alexandria, and Anne in Vermont. Another big wave to all the folks on the live stream. Thanks so much for joining us today. Toodaloo.